Hey guys, what's up? It's KOKOStern with Why You Should, and this time I have a pretty crappy subject, I guess. It's a subject that a lot of people do not enjoy talking about, but it's something that I just want to say, and it's my opinion about social networks, and specifically we're going to talk about Facebook a little bit. So, I dislike Facebook for most of what most people do. For most of what most people do with it. I think Facebook is a great tool for several things, such as groups and events, and events are basically groups with a time on them, pretty much. But groups and events is something Facebook does absolutely wonderfully. And do I wish groups had more of a forum-like structure and nested comments? Yes, definitely, very much so. But still, it works. And the main thing about Facebook is that you have to put in your real name, which is not something that I completely agree with, because I love having an online alias. It's something that is unique, and though you can, it helps you find people that you want to talk to, not through any other means, but talk to them just through Facebook. So with that, it's kind of comfortable having real names and stuff like that. But still, there's a lot of things that I dislike about Facebook, and one of the main things is the following action. Like that when you just go through your feed and you just like random stuff. And I want to talk a little bit about this is something that I simply don't do, and most people do all the freaking time. And I want to talk about, I know I just antagonized 100% of people, but forget that, I don't mind. What I want to talk about is the like system. I really, really hate the system. It's probably why I've never ever used it as well. The like system only has positive, okay? It's only positive, and it doesn't have a negative. It doesn't have a dislike. Now, there's a lot of reasons not to have a dislike, and one of the main reasons is, why would you want to have something negative? You can have just the positive, and that makes a lot of sense, and you could think about why they'd like to do that. But I think it's really terrible not to be able to express yourself either in a positive or a negative manner. And speaking of positive and negative, I don't really think that that word, like, it has a very specific feeling to it, and I would much rather have something that is positive, but not like, just like +1, maybe. Okay, now, I know Google One uses that, but plus has a more positive manner, and it's not liking something, it's just plus. You don't have to like something in order to feel positive about it or approve of it. But that's completely sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get back on course. You can only express yourself positively towards something and not negatively. And there's a lot to say. There's a lot of arguments against this. And please, what I'm going to say is what I think, and I'd love to hear some feedback. And a ton of people will disagree with me, which is perfectly fine. I want to hear your thoughts about this. But the way I see it, it can only help. It can only help. And the reason is, let's think about, say, a lot of people being organized in order to take something down. And when I say take something down, they can't actually take it down, they can just dislike it. Let's call it like and dislike. You could dislike something, but if you bring a lot of people to dislike something, then you probably have a good reason to do so. And I don't see why we can't have that if we can have it the other way around. There are groups of people that will go over and like something. You can actually buy likes today. You could buy it. You could put $50 and get 10,000 likes, or I don't know the prices, but something similar to that totally exists these days. And that's something terrible, as far as I can see it. But it exists, and if someone went to the lengths of doing that in a positive manner, I don't understand why you want to prevent someone from doing it in a negative manner. Another issue is, say, cyberbullying, that a lot of people could gang up on someone in the school or something like that. But that's a really stupid point for me, because cyberbullying exists anyways, and if anything, if you see a specific kid, if the parents are monitoring a little bit of Facebook and they see a specific kid being bullied by that and lots of minuses, it's a much better way. It's something you can monitor in a much better way, and seeing that this specific person is getting a ton of dislikes and people don't like his my light is going out. people really don't like what he put up. So there's might be a good reason for that, and that's something that you can monitor a little bit better. So dislike is not inherently a bad thing. Now, to give you an even better example, I want to talk about Reddit. Reddit, for me, is one of the best social networks out there. And we're not going to talk about Google Plus or Twitter or anything else. We're just going to talk about Reddit and Facebook. But I absolutely love the system Reddit has. Now, a lot of people will say they're completely different things. Reddit isn't really a social network. But when you think about it, if Reddit adds a user profile, then it's basically Facebook with predetermined groups in a way. Think about it. And what I mentioned earlier is that the best things I believe Facebook does is not really user profiles and people putting up, statuses and stuff like that. It's actually groups and events. Okay, and if we put groups and events in the same, both of them are groups, event is a type of group, then basically Reddit has that. It has the groups. It doesn't have the profile pages. And the profile pages, again, I think they're kind of stupid in a way. It's not a really great thing. The feed that you get, going back to the feed, I want to know what happens in the groups that I'm interested in, but I don't care what someone that I barely even know posted up or put up. Those things that could be completely removed. I don't think people should scroll down and check out everything. I think you should check out just the groups that you're part of, because the groups is a really great thing about Facebook, and events that people post up. People posting events is a good thing, and talking about them and preparing for them and seeing how many people are going to attend, that's something absolutely great that Facebook does. But personal profiles is kind of meh, and Reddit does groups way better. First of all, you have the statuses that people put up that could be really anything, same as Facebook, but you have both like and dislike. You have upvote and downvote, and that system filters in what comes up in your feed, which is absolutely wonderful. Think about it. You don't have a feed with whatever thrown up, whatever Facebook decides to put up there because of promotions and stuff like that. No, you do have that in Reddit, but to a much lesser extent. You have what people agree upon, what people upvote, and what isn't liked is downvoted. That is so incredibly important. You obviously have a lot of people upvoting a specific thing and a lot of people downvoting a specific thing. You could buy those upvotes and downvotes in the same similar manner. But when you have a good thing, it goes up, and then the discussion about that thing has nested comments. Simple freaking idea, but nested comments, which really allow for discussion. What Facebook doesn't really have. Facebook does not really allow for discussion. Facebook has just, you put up comments and stuff. And it's a very straightforward comments. There's no nested comments at all. And nested comments is really a great solution. It's more akin to a forum, and it's absolutely great. So Reddit is just, I think it's way better. And think about this. If you give each person a group of its own where he's the admin and can decide maybe certain people can only post things, that's basically a Facebook wall for Reddit. Now, Reddit won't never do that. There's no reason to, because it doesn't work like that. But still, you can pretty much have profile pages on Reddit in a way. Okay, and you can post pictures there as well, and they'll be kept forever because Reddit statuses are kept forever. So Reddit is basically just does the things that Facebook does well better, as far as I'm concerned. And obviously, we haven't gone too much into Facebook and Reddit, and Facebook being the real name and Reddit being an alias, which I approve of, and having an alias a lot more, because an alias allows someone to have an alias, but you can also have your actual name. So you have that option. And yes, KOKOStern, which is who I am in real life, and KOKOStern, which is my online alias, they're the same person still, but I have that distinction. There's still that distinction between them. And I much prefer choosing which one I actually take up. So there's a ton more to talk about, and I'd love to hear your discussion. I don't want to, talk for too long, and we're going for 9 minutes. But if I have to say one more point, and why I think you should use Reddit a little bit more and use Facebook a little bit less, and use Facebook for what it does well, which is groups, and that's the why you should. I have to say what you actually need to do, right? What's the actual activity that I care about. More Reddit, less Facebook. Think about this. One last point, okay? Reddit's name, the name Reddit, is ingenious. Facebook is really freaking dumb. What more do you need? That point just closes the argument, seals the deal, and we're good. Okay, that's as far as I'm concerned. So that's it, a little bit of social networking for you. Why not? And speaking about social networking, I have a Twitter. Yeah, okay, that was a bit far-fetched. I have a Twitter, it's at KOKOStern. You can subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed this stuff, me babbling about crap. And thanks all for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya.